And there. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm just a little unorganized here. Hi there. How you doing, folks? Sorry, just getting my getting lined up. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me without any real warning today. I thought I would go live today to just kind of help a lot of you out with questions. Pardon me, I'm making adjustments here. Uncle Bruce has to make adjustments. Excuse me. Nice to see you all here. I thought I'd go live today before the markets go crazy tomorrow, because I expect them to be absolutely insane tomorrow, and maybe have a better chance to say hi to some of you guys and answer some of your questions, and we'll go over what's happening out there. And I thought it was a prudent thing to do. So thank you for popping in. Welcome one and all to Stock Markets with Bruce. It's Bruce here. And the bunch of you have already arrived, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for popping in and saying hi to me and visiting with me here from Creston, British Columbia in Canada, wearing one of my Sextant Traveling with Bruce shirts. A couple of announcements I'll make. Been working feverishly this morning to try to get a couple of items up on the Redbubble store specifically for you guys. I wanted to make sure that there were some Stock Market with Bruce merchandise items available with some kind of a logo, and I just kind of hacked together, and I mean it's amateur hour here at this guy's house. But I'll show you what I've done here. I took this image here. I just produced a Stock Markets with Bruce logo like that, put it on a coffee mug. It's available. And then I got a little more creative, and I did this one, GameStop with Uncle Bruce. And I put a little green and red and black background and blue background. I played around with it. I've got a coffee mug available. I have one of these taller kind of teacup type coffee mugs available. Sorry for the imagery being as crappy as it is. Keep in mind, I don't know what I'm really doing. I'm a rank amateur when it comes to this. And here we go. I'll show the other ones again. And I have to admit, I literally created these logos by myself using my my TubeBuddy, which is what I use to make my thumbnails for my channel. So. But it works. It doesn't work on T-shirts because on T-shirts, the situation is that these logos come off way too tiny. They're really too small, and they'd be like this big, like they'd be like this big on a T-shirt. I need the whole thing to come up. So Jennifer's working on it right now. She's trying to figure out how to work the Redbubble thing. If you do go to the Redbubble store, which we now have a link from this channel direct to the Redbubble store. You'll have to swim around in there. You'll find all the logos for Traveling with Bruce, which of course is my number one channel that I created. This one, and thank you all of you who are buying these. This is awesome. But you will find these new logos. You'll find these two new logos popping up, and certain items are available. I think I also put together a cell phone, the back of a cell phone with that GameStop logo. It's just a tiny rectangular thing, and on the thing. Anyway, check it out. If you want one, get one. If you like them, thank you. A royalty comes to us, and Jen and I thank you so much. There you are. One more peek at all three of those. But let's talk about these guys. GameStop. What are we going to have happen tomorrow? My goodness. Here's the EB Games out of Canada. That's what Canada uses is EB Games. That's where they shop. This guy right here, oh man, he did the right thing. He bought 9 million shares for $76 million. Paying, I guess he paid as high as $16 a share to get his stock. But I think his average is 8 something, because he was buying at 4 and 5 and 6. Way to go, Mr. Cohen. I'm already a fan of this guy. And yeah, so he's going to do. He's done well. I think he's going to continue to do well. Of course, it's just driving me nuts today. I'm a little off center today. I really apologize. There we go. That's a little better. I was kind of sitting way over here. Big bucks are being spent on this whole set that you can tell, can't you? We've got unlimited budget to just, bring directors and producers in and make it all happen. Anyway, I've been reading all weekend, anything I get my hands on regarding GameStop, what's going on, what happened last week, what's happening with the market makers, what's happening with the stock exchange, what's happening with the stock brokers, what's happening with these platforms. Learning a lot more about how shares are transacted these days, the physical, the logistical transfer of shares from one individual who's selling, say, and another individual who's buying, or hedge fund, it doesn't matter, how these orders get transacted through the system and ultimately get settled out. And I'm trying to figure that out, to figure out why and what's going on with Robinhood and some of these other guys. Cheers, by the way. I've got to keep hydrated. What are these guys up to? And how are they funded? And are they sufficiently funded to enact the trades? What could happen if we have brokers that are going to have cash problems, this type of thing? A couple of hellos to all you guys. Abstract, first one here. How you doing? Lucy Johnson, happy. Abstract, hey Bruce, love your content. Thank you for teaching me so much. R101, happy to say I'm going to be a proud owner of Traveling with Bruce mug in the near future. John, we like the stock. Mike, this dude's the only person on YouTube that knows what he's talking about, except for Roaring Kitty when it comes to stock. All the other guys are fake. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good content. Thank you for these comments, everybody. Silver's going to skyrocket tomorrow. I have no idea what that is, if that's actually the commodity or stock. I have no idea. I'm not following it. Mike, we should get him to the top of Wall Street bets. Profitable trading, squeeze. Okay. Let me see if I get back to these messages or if I lost them. I'm trying to read as many as I can. GameStop is better though. Man, you should have told me. I would have gladly made a logo for you. I'm a creative director. I need more logos. I got to make some, half decent logos. You can always contact me through my email, which should be down below in the description of this show. I'm updating how you can contact me. But anyway, well, I'll get into that later. AGF baby, why is GameStop short interest over 200% in Yahoo Finance? No idea. Political troll. You need vector images. Okay. Luca, how late am I? Just got here. GameStonk. There we go. GameStonk. I'll buy. GameStonk, please. Daniel, £5 donation. Thanks for the commentary on GameStop, Bruce. Appreciate the chill vibes amidst these crazy times. 1,000 plus shares at $16. Way to go. Thomas stonks with Bruce and the Rocket. This is History Moments. My dude, Bruce. The right word is stonk, not stock. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Sharon. How you doing, Sharon? One of my sponsor members from TWB. Thomas, McDougall, everyone focus on GameStop. These will be less pressure because of AMC, Nokia, Silver Screws. Ignore the distractions. Jack, thanks for being there for us, Bruce, this week. You got it, buddy. Clifton, Fiverr has good freelancers that will do all for reasonable prices. Yeah, I've been thinking about this too. We were thinking, and then we thought, I know I can crank out a logo pretty quick. Something simple and just get it out there, and we did. But we'll be doing more, and we'll figure out other stuff. Trust me, guys. Trev, stonk. This has become a zero-sum game. Laugh out loud. If you hate the hedge funds, you win even if you lose, as long as they are disseminated. Kirk, hi, Kirk Brunson. How you doing? TWB sponsor member. Hi, Kirk from TWB here from the Big Apple. I'm getting ready to go to my vaccine now. Get the vaccine right on. Debbie Manuel, another sponsor member of Traveling with Bruce. Thinking we'll hit 30 grand today. Easy. Congrats for subscribers of this channel. We might hit 30,000 subscribers. Those of you who haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. There are 1,253 of you here right now with me on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for thumbs ups for these shows, these live shows, my recorded shows. That makes a huge difference with YouTube. Big time. And also subscribing. That is awesome. We're going to hit 30,000 subs today. This is just incredible. Sarah Brown, thanks for all you do, Bruce. The stock market with Bruce. Bauer, GameStop. Rickwa, GameStop. Immortan Spoon, GameStop, AMC is real. That's it. Mike, Thomas McDougall is speaking facts. SLGC, thank you, Sharon. Good luck, Kurt. Amor, GameStop, Kirk Hansen, AGF, baby, that's a short interest, not the percentage of float. That's the main number to keep an eye on. Gregory, thank you for your donation today. Bruce, do you believe any of the counterfeit stock DD on Wall Street bets, the talk, clearinghouse is essentially allowing stocks to be borrowed multiple times to prevent hedges from showing on fail to deliver lists? I don't think there's that. I just believe that there are failure to delivers. So what it means is you have a large seller of stock that wants to go short. Okay, that can be a person, a hedge fund. It could be, whoever, whatever that seller is, an index fund, probably not an index fund, maybe a negative index fund. In any event, you have a large seller. They want to sell 1 million shares, and they're going to take all day to do it. Okay, they think shares wherever they are high, and they're figuring eventually they'll be lower, $5 lower, 10, 150, I don't know. Up to them to decide when they want to buy back. So they go to a broker. They have dozens to choose from because these large hedge funds have dozens of stockbrokers. And they find out which brokers can lend them GameStop at the best price because they're all getting charged interest. Any short sellers paying interest to short the stock. And, these brokers competing against each other for the business. This is a business, the buying and selling of stock, no matter how whether it's retailers or institutions, larger players. So these guys figure out who it is and how much, and then they start placing orders with the firms that are treating them, they feel being treated right. And they start offering stock for sale, and they don't have to wait for the market to come to them unless they want to. If they want to get $3.40 a share and it's trading at $3.25, they'll sit at $3.40, whether it's $340 or $3.40 or $18.50 or whatever the stock, whatever the price. Anyway, they could just hit the market and just say, we're going to start selling stock. But if you're going to short 1 million shares, what you want to do is you want to sell it off into the market without the market knowing that you're actually shorting the stock. You don't want to tip your hand. This is poker. You don't want to show other institutions what you're up to. And these institutions out there have the same trading systems with all the quotes and all the, all the buy pricing that's in there, all the sell pricing that's in there. And they can just see, how much volume is on one side of the market and the other, and what kind of a pattern's been going on. They can smell what other institutions are doing. These institutions know what other institutions do. In any event, this 1 million share seller just slowly is selling stock into the marketplace. And at the end of the day, day one, they've sold 200,000 shares. Day two, they're at 450. Day three, they're at 650. Day four, they're at 900. Day five, they are short 1 million. And if they've done it right, they haven't hurt the market at all. They've just sold into the flow of the trading. But the brokers who in 2 business days have to settle up with these outfits, the broker's going to contact the hedge fund guys, the back office people, and they're going to say, okay, you shorted so many dollars, like 20 million bucks worth of stock with us, or 50 million bucks worth of stock. We need just as much money as collateral against the short sale, or 150%, or whatever the number is. So the proceeds from the sale sit with the broker. And then the client adds additional cash into their account to cover that short in case that stock goes up. So it might be dollar for dollar, but one broker might say, no, it's 50 cents to the dollar. We know you're good for it. We, the brokerage house, are actually covering you. So, 50 cents, and we know you, if we need more, you're good for it. Others will say, no, you're 25 cents. That's all we need. You guys are great. We love you guys. Again, it's a competition for the favor of the institutional player, these big whale customers. In any event, if the stock starts going up, the funds start throwing more money in. In the meantime, the brokers are having to deliver stock to the central exchange where shares change hands between brokerage houses, and they haven't got the stock. They don't have enough handy, so they're borrowing stock from other individual clients or other hedge clients that they have on hand in their own house, the brokerage house, or they're contacting other brokerage houses that they know. Everybody knows everybody. Believe me, these firms, the brokerage firms, know everybody else. So they're making a few email inquiries, and Goldman Sachs has 2 million shares of GameStop that is held by a mutual fund, and we can lend you 1 million of those, and we'll charge you 20% interest a year on the value of the stock. and just pay us on a monthly basis, or when you give us the stock back, we'll settle up. 15 days he held the position, give us 15 days interest. That's how it's supposed to work. So the broker's borrowing stock. He should be borrowing stock before the client even sells it. But they have 2 business days to settle up these transactions and find the paper and figure it out. It's all electronic transferring. There are no share certificates like with paper changing hands. It's all electronic. But if the broker can't find stock, and 2 business days comes along and the broker has to settle up, the day they have to settle up, they have to deliver 200,000 shares they don't have. The buyer of the stock is there, has already sent the money to buy the stock to the clearinghouse. The seller is expecting the money from the clearinghouse, but they haven't delivered the trade. They haven't delivered the paper. And so what's happening here is it's a failure to deliver scenario. And so now the clearinghouse is notifying the buyer that the seller hasn't delivered the paper, and it's a failure to deliver scenario. Now, the clearinghouse clears everyone's shares everywhere else, and they still settle up the trade in a dollar term, but the stock is still hanging out there, that it's a short position that hasn't been covered. So that the broker that bought the stock is telling their clients, you own it, and if you sell it tomorrow, you'll be paid for whatever you sell it for. Don't worry about it. We'll figure out our paperwork in the back room. You don't have to worry about it. And retail investors know nothing of this. Large hedge funds do know all about this, but they trade on anyway, because the next day, that same broker that shorted 200,000 yesterday, all the other clients that broker has may have bought 400,000 of shares of GameStop the next day, while the short seller sold another 200,000, and now they're getting 200,000. They're going to get 200,000 more than they need to deliver, and in effect, they're even again, because they were short 200,000 from a couple of days ago. Now they're over 200, and now it all evens out that they're flat. It's all computerized, controlled, figured out on a nano by nanosecond basis. And it's accepted behavior in the markets because they want to keep the market flowing. They always want buyers to be able to buy, sellers to be able to sell, stocks to be able to trade. But the reality is that as days go by and weeks go by and months go by, there's more shares shorted than actually exist as far as free trading stock is concerned. And this is an issue that can come home to roost if enough buyers come in to buy stock and don't sell it. And if it's retail investors, oh my gosh, we have an issue on the short side, because retail investors are buying up 1, 2, 5, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 shares each, 200 shares each, 700 shares each. These are all small orders. Any order under $1 million is a small order. And there are gazillions of you guys who have been buying up GameStop and other stocks. But this particular stock you've been buying up because it is the most shorted stock in the stock exchange. Of all the New York Stock Exchange listed stocks, this one is all alone, way up here, way up here. So this whole trading thing and this whole settlement thing is a multi-trillion-dollar daily deal between all the broker-dealers around the world, whether they're buying or selling. And if you're a brokerage house of any merit, of any size at all, you are handling hundreds of millions of dollars in stock a day on the long side, the short side, selling, buying, covering, getting everything, because you're in the business to move money. You're a bookie. These brokerage firms are bookies. They're helping the bettors. You're a bettor thinking it's going to go up, and there's a bettor over here thinking it's going to go down. Wagering is open, folks. The windows are here. Let's go. And as long as the shares clear and money moves along, the brokers can take a little snippet of all the trades and pick up the pennies and pile up their millions of dollars in earnings. And they make money doing many, many other services other than just that. But that's just a snippet of the business, and I don't want to go into much more than that. I hope I'm making sense for some of you folks out there. A lot of people are asking me, Bruce, when a stock goes to $300 a share, when the stock used to be at $5 a share and $20 a share, does the company, is the company any better off? Not really. At GameStop in the retail stores, there are probably more people aware of GameStop than the brand name, the entity. anyone who's watched television in the last few days, you have seen the GameStop story and the name GameStop. You saw it on Saturday Night Live last night. You see it on CNN. You're seeing it on MSNBC, on Fox. You're hearing it on the radio. You're hearing it on podcasts. You're engaging with me. You've got all the other YouTubers out there, all of these vlogs, blogs. I mean, GameStop, the brand name, is as famous right now as Apple. And that, for the company, has made the company much more valuable in an artificial way. The company is much more valuable because of the awareness of the company. So the brand name awareness. Now, is it a good awareness or a bad awareness? Now, there's, you remember Monica Lewinsky? She was an anonymous person. She became incredibly famous, but not for necessarily the right reasons. But she was able to cash in on her name by writing a book and doing speaking engagements. And you want to be that person? So GameStop is famous, but are they good famous, or is it going to be bad famous, or is it going to be just as much one side as the other? As far as the gamers are concerned, they all know and have always known who GameStop is, what GameStop does, especially in the countries where GameStop had and has physical retail locations. But many billions of people, I mean billions of people, have heard GameStop for the very first time. They've heard all about it in the last week to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And a lot of them are going, wow, this is unbelievable. What an interesting story. But what they don't know in the billions yet is what we have been sharing here, what the company is up to and what the company's trying to become. They know what the company has been, brick and mortar company, and they keep being told by certain TV talking heads and other talking heads that it's just a brick and mortar company and that's all it is. And it's eventually going to fail just like Blockbuster did. A lot of people think this company is going to eventually die because they don't know the other side of the story. They don't know about the Ryan Cohen story. They don't know about the large increase in online sales. They don't know anything about the Sony PlayStation. They don't know anything about the Xbox. They don't know all about the lineups at the stores at Christmas. People desperate to buy the systems. They don't know about the back orders of systems that are pre-sold. Billions of dollars in sales are going to be enjoyed by GameStop all this year from these new systems. They don't know about that, which is a pleasant surprise for the company eventually, we hope, because we hope they're still listening to the GameStop story when there's a lot of news yet to come out. And of course, as we've been talking here, as of Friday night, the company hadn't said a word to anybody in the last couple of weeks. We've heard nothing from GameStop about anything they're up to. And we're waiting patiently for midnight tonight. Because at midnight tonight is the end of the fiscal year for GameStop. Today is the 31st of January, 2021. This is the end of the year for GameStop, as far as I know. So tomorrow morning, midnight, 1 second after midnight, starts a new year. And I have a feeling they're on a gag order until midnight tonight. They don't have to say anything tomorrow if they don't want to, but I suspect GameStop is getting ready to talk because their phones have probably been ringing off the hook and their email boxes are full with requests from every media organization on the planet saying, have you got a comment? Would you like to comment on the fact that your stock has gone from $12 a share, $20 a share to $325 a share? Would you like to comment that you're the most talked about stock in the world? Would you like to comment about all these rumors of your demise, or you'd like to talk about what your future is? Would you like to tell us so we can tell our viewers? Yeah, they want to talk. You darn right they want to talk. They want to be on top of this media sensation because they're getting right now hundreds of millions of dollars of free advertising that they could never buy themselves. Yeah, they really want to talk. So your company, if you're a shareholder of GameStop, it's your company. Your company is a lot more wealthy today when it comes to an awareness factor. But if the shares go from $300 to $400 a share, your company is no more profitable because they can't just raise prices. The stock price does not affect the retail product in their stores, does not affect their online. But what it did do, and this is the big one for me, is you're looking to expose GameStop as an online retailer. Well, you've just made 5 billion people aware of it, that you exist. There's hundreds of millions and billions of people who now are aware that there's something called a GameStop. And GameStop has to take this momentum and say to the world, we are becoming a worldwide e-commerce seller of gaming systems, accessories, and everything else they want to get into, and having tournaments and an esport league that I think they're going to be heavily involved with perhaps DraftKings even getting involved in the outcome of how gamers do in tournaments. I mean, there is so much to happen here on that side of the business that the billions of people do not know, because no television station and no talking head has bothered to take the time to tell their viewers the whole story. As you all know out there, the news business is headline driven, and the only headline that these outfits want to release are the headlines of GameStop short squeeze. GameStop short squeeze, little guy against the big guy, mobs of small investors against billionaire hedge fund managers. That's the story. That's all the media wants to get out of this. They really don't want to go in much deeper detail because, why would these people want to buy this stock at $300 a share? Do you think maybe they know that there's a future beyond this squeeze? Yeah, there is, and it could be massive. So, there's lots to come out. So there's a long answer to a short question. If the stock goes up, does it affect the value of the company? Do they make more money because of it? You could, from awareness, but that's longer term, not short term. Okay. Who else is here? Oh my gosh. Raz, Keith Gill stock list on Wall Street Journal. Silver Squeeze, just a distraction. Sympathetica, Heart. Corinth, awesome to see you. I expect to be in windfall from the channel this weekend. Right on. Network, Dog and Pick. Just buy silver bars. I don't believe in this. Keith Gill, stock isn't, unless it's on Wall Street Journal, no silver or anything else. Stop with the AMC, please. Only GameStop, people. We're here to talk GameStop. I agree. I'm going to try to avoid comments that have anything to do with these other items. Evidence of counterfeit shares. I don't think so. Let's see. Here we go. Sarah, I just wish other YouTubers who don't know anything about stock market can stay in their lane and leave the stock market to Master Bruce and not mislead viewers. Well, I mean, I don't know everything, but I'm giving you 45 years of what I got. And, this story isn't really that complex when you really come down to it. I mean, it's really not that crazy, but there are a lot of players and there are a lot of, components to this story, and it would help. I agree. It would help if all of you could find a source or two or four or five where, you can get information that's understandable to the average human being, because, some of these blogs and online people are talking above my head. And I'm going, if you're talking about my head, then you're not you're not talking to me, and maybe you're insulting my intelligence, and I got to move on. I don't know. Let's see what else is going on. Alrighty, we've got to do that, and we're going to move on. If I see people really bringing comments out that are just repetitive again and again and again, and they're nothing to do with GameStop, I'm going to eliminate you from the chat, and I will just block you from the channel. So, just be warned. Don't be abusing it. Subject Access, £5 for Bruce. Thank you. Hello, Uncle Bruce. Thank you, Subject Access, so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I will eliminate you from being able to comment, and then you can just watch or go away. So what can I say? Brett, thank you for that comment. He's the hardest working man. Let's see. Bobby Bruce is the man. Let's see. Those cups are awesome. I use mine every day. I'll be getting more soon. Thank you, Louise. I know you've got a TWB cups. Great fan of mine on my other channel too. Thank you, Louise, for being here today. It's a little slower today on the comments, so I'm having a little easier time following you today, but there's still 2,400 of you here, although yesterday or Friday we had 13,000 people at one point watching live at the same time. That was amazing. Tomorrow we hold. Fantastic. Reezy, stock markets with Bruce. Hello. I'm in on 3 brokers to nab at least 2 shares just for the cause. I can tell my kids I tried. Right on. I sure hope it works out for everybody here. Bauer. Hi there. Love you, Bruce. Ryan. Hi, Bruce. Do you think the stock market will crash after this? I want to invest in other things, but worried it'll crash as soon as I do. Well, you know what? You want the market to be cheaper. If you're a buyer, you don't want to pay the all-time high. You want to pay bargain prices. The best time to have bought stock in the overall market in the last year was last March when the COVID shut everything down. the Dow dropped 20-something% in a couple of weeks. That was the moment to strike, because for the rest of the year, the Dow were completely recovered, hit new highs, as did the S&P 500, NASDAQ, all the shares out there. Some of them, there were some unbelievable bargains out there. But I can tell you, human emotion is such that when a stock market crashes, people think, oh, it's not the time to buy. I gotta save my money. No, it's the time to buy. That's when stocks are on sale. So like GameStop the other day, when they hit 110 or 112, 120 a share, that was the time to buy. Of course, a lot of us, a lot of you in particular, I don't own anything, but a lot of you that couldn't buy, you weren't allowed to, which is, part of the problem here. And I'm hoping that this is going to get resolved sooner rather than later. Ray, how you doing? Trev, can I call you daddy? Oh, what is this? Fidelity, someone saying, diamond hands, Brucey. You'll need to take half the currency in the world to short silver. I don't think so. Please answer Gregory Price question. I don't remember what it was. Did I answer it? I hope I did. Have you seen a stock shorted this? Have you ever seen a stock shorted this much? In percentage terms, probably not. Probably not. But I have seen some major short plays over the years. But I'm going back now into the 80s when I was a stockbroker, desk trader, branch manager of a brokerage firm. I've seen more shenanigans than you guys can imagine. But that was a different world. That was the world when you had a 5-day settlement between buy and sell. So if you bought stock today, you had a week to pay for it. If you sold stock today, you had to wait a week to get your money. Although if you sold stock today, you could buy stock right away with the credit that's there, because again, you don't have to pay for it for 5 days. And by the time you have to pay for it, you get the credit for the stock you already sold. And so we had all this turnover going on. But I did see a lot of short nonsense going on. Of course, I was based in Calgary, Alberta in Canada, Western Canada. And being a Calgarian at the time, my clients were focused on the oil business and the mining business, Western Canada, Western USA. And so we were dealing with a lot of Alberta Stock Exchange offerings, Vancouver Stock Exchange offerings, Toronto, and a little bit New York, because in those days, there was no such thing as massive following of the NASDAQ stocks or American Stock Exchange stocks. They were those shares were being played with by the Bay Street guys in Toronto and the Wall Street guys in New York. And if you had 15 million shares a day trade hands, those were heavy days. I remember when when New York Stock Exchange hit 100 million shares traded in one day. Oh, wow, 100 million shares have traded in one day on the New York Stock Exchange. This is how can we handle all that money? You brokers must be getting rich, they were saying, because then all the media came to the Wall Street guys, all the CBS News guys and the papers who don't ever cover the markets. They would come to Wall Street to ask stupid questions from stockbrokers, just like you used to see on the Super Bowl. You'd get the two teams in for media day, and they would take questions from world media who don't know what football is in the United States, and they would get the dumbest questions in the world. Well, that's what happened when the Dow would hit new highs or new lows back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. You'd get these Johnny-come-lately stock reporters. They're not stock reporters, just reporters who don't know a dang thing about the market, trying to talk to millions of people on Walter Cronkite's newscast. You have a broker on there, an interviewer there, and they ask the stupid questions, and they get answers that have nothing to do with the story and the matter at hand. And I, as a stockbroker, would just be shaking my head going, these idiots, the morons in the media, they're not talking to the pros. And when they are talking to the pros on Wall Street, they're not asking them the questions you're supposed to be asking. Then, of course, in the 80s, out came the television networks to start covering the markets. And at first, everyone thought this is a novelty. This shows you how fractured the television business is getting. They now have channels covering the stock market. You got to be kidding me. Well, now look at how big this business is, but it's a business. And I want to remind all of you who are out there, the business of covering stocks is a very lucrative business. Have you noticed the ads that are running when the market is on pre-market and in the first hour of trading? And if you notice the kind of ads that are running on the MSNBC or CNBC about an hour and a half into the day until about an hour and a half to go, the value of the ads drop dramatically in the middle part of the day. And in the end of the day and the beginning of the day, you got the high-end advertisers aiming at the market, at the you guys, high-end products, high-end ad rates. and then anyone can buy an ad on CNBC in the middle of the day. You want to buy an ad right now on a Sunday afternoon on CNBC? They'll give you an ad. No one's watching. The numbers are puny because there's no stock market stories going on. Is there anyone covering on CNBC the GameStop story that's going to happen tomorrow morning? No, they're not there. They're a business. They know that they really should have a special going. They should have a 3-hour call-in show special where they have Art Cashin and a couple of New York pros and some options pros from Chicago. Get these guys on the phone or put them on a camera like this and have a host, a moderator in New York, and tell the world what's going on. You think they're there? They're not there for you. They're not going to do that. Are you kidding me? No, they're ramping up their business for Monday morning. And what they want to talk about on CNBC and on Fox Business and CNN Business and all the other business networks, the Bloombergs and all these guys, all these broadcasters. I'm not picking on CNBC. It keeps popping into my head as the one channel to talk about. Bloomberg and everybody else, they are getting ready for earnings week because this week is a big week for earnings. But most retail investors don't care. They don't care about earnings for General Electric or AMR or United Airlines. We don't care. We want to know what's going on with GameStop. We want to know if the public is going to get ripped off by the brokerage firms by not being allowed to buy stock that they have cash to buy. We want to find out if they're getting messed with the man. This whole market has gone upside down from the retail end of things. And these guys over here, I don't understand it. They are covering it, but they're not covering it. And on weekends, there's nothing you can find on mainstream media all about it. You can read all about it on the New York Times and Washington Post this weekend. They've printed articles, but on live television, phone-in shows, nobody, nothing, zip. To me, I think if these television networks had a guy on, like even if someone like me, not me, but someone like me that can take calls and handle consumer questions with a whole bunch of staff people to vet out the questions and figure it out. That would be a pretty good public service. I think they could sell a lot of advertising for that kind of a show. Don't you? I guess it's better for me then. I'm here talking to you live on YouTube, little old YouTube station, about what's going on with this stock, what's been happening, what might happen. And I have 2,685 of you here for CNBC. That doesn't cut it. 2,600 people, it's not going to get 2.6 million viewers, you're talking 265,000, you're talking, but for a network like that, no. But on the other hand, if they were pumping it up all week long, saying, don't forget to join so-and-so at 2:00 Sunday afternoon for a 2-hour phone-in show all about GameStop, do you think that they would have 1 million watching right now? They would. They'd have 1 million viewers, but they don't care about you guys. They're in another planet. I'm sorry. There you go. Let's move on. PlayStation Next says, I want to spend $50 cash on buying stock in GameStop, but don't know if it's a good time to do it or not. I'm fine with losing $50 if I'm not successful, but the long-term run shows I could probably, well, how much can you make? How much can you turn it into if this stock does the ultimate? And what is the ultimate for GameStop? I don't know, but could the stock go to 500 a share and then sit between 200 and 300 for a long time? Could it go to 1,000 a share on a run over the next few weeks, and then eventually settle between 300 and 600 a share? Could it go to 2,000 a share? I mean, I don't see the stock going to $10,000 a share. I mean, in fantasy land and in theoretical land, anything's possible. I don't dismiss it totally, but as the company, if I am GameStop, all right, and I'm on the board of directors, we're sitting there going, you know what? We've had the bejesus kicked out of us by these short guys for years. We've been fighting these short-selling hedge funds. They've been against us. They've hired guns to come after us in the media. They've hired people to write articles about how god-awful we are. We got to raise some cash here. We got to take advantage of this market. We haven't sold any stock all the way up here for the treasury. What are we going to do? They're not going to just sit back and go, well, let it go to 10,000 a share and then we'll sell some. No. So I'm hoping that the company will start issuing paper, even dribs and drabs. I don't care how you do it, guys. Raise some cash from this eager market, because every dollar that's in the treasury at these levels and higher, it just builds up the core value of the company for all shareholders. All shareholders get more valuable the more stock is turned into cash for the treasury. So yeah, sell 5 million between here and 350, sell 5 million between 350 and 400, sell 5 million before 400, 450. That's what the stock market's giving you. The stock market is on a silver platter running this stock up to these levels. You, the corporation, should at least take this money in, because 5 million at $400 a share is $2 billion, and 5 million shares at 450 is 2.25 billion more, and at $500 it's 2.5 billion more. That takes this company to become a financial online gaming powerhouse, a financial powerhouse with a ton of cash. So now they can be acquirers, they can be buyers of other businesses, private successful businesses, up and coming game creating outfits. They could really corner a big chunk of this market with the cash. They get the money, just buy them cash or issue stock in cash to acquire other companies and really grow this business. I mean, it's huge. And more they do that, the richer you guys get, because you guys aren't going to be the ones paying $800 a share for this stock. You've already got your stock. It's that way down here, wherever you were. You bought it at $20, $8, 16, 48, 52, 150, $320, whatever you paid for the stock. If this thing goes to 400, 500, 600, you're not the buyers of the stock. You're the holders of the stock, and you might sell some, you might not. But if your company has raised 5, 8, 10 billion in cash, and the book value of the corporation in cash is now $120 a share, you guys know there's a floor, there's a foundation under you, and that foundation is getting higher and higher and higher. And if they start making acquisitions of other businesses with cash flows and upward potential, the analysts on Wall Street will be writing all kinds of good news articles about GameStop to tell the world we're upping our target price. We think the stock is worth more than we thought a year ago, a month ago, a week ago. And that's all good for you, because your foundation keeps rising on you to a much, much higher level. And if you don't ever want to sell, that's your decision to make. Great. But, someday the price will be so juicy, I hope, for all of you, that you will go, maybe I should sell some of my shares. You were here, long when we were, you were in these levels. If this thing doubles, triples, quadruples, if that were to happen, selling all the way up, more power to you. Again, it's an individual's choice, but I want this company to raise money, and I'm hoping this is going to happen. We'll see what goes on. I will sell at 400, not too shabby. If I sell at 400, it won't be too bad. Where do you expect to see him in the morning? I don't know. I'll be watching. I'm not going to be sleeping very much tonight. Oh my gosh. Let's see. All kinds of comments have been coming. I've missed all kinds of donations that have come through here. I apologize. I really try to highlight specifically people who are making donations to me. Thank you for these super chats, super stickers. A lot of you guys are very, I appreciate it. Again, those of you who don't know, I am not a shareholder of GameStop. I don't buy and sell any stock at all. I'm not a day trader or anything like that. I'm just a commentator, giving you what I think is happening and try to explain it in plain English. Hi, Bruce, can you explain the relationship between options that expire in the money and their settlement date? I see T1 and T2. What does that mean? Not exactly sure about all this. But if you have a stock, if you have a contract, a call option to buy 100 shares Friday morning, and they expire Friday afternoon, and you're in the money. In other words, you can buy 100 shares from the seller of that contract for, say, $200, and the stock's trading at $300. You have a $100 gain on your contract value at that moment in time. $100 times 100 shares, that's a $10,000 position. You have a value, let's say. Now, if you paid $20,000 for the contract and it's only worth $10,000 in value, you still lose 10 grand. But if you've got a $200 buy price, option price, and the stock's trading at 100, you have no value, because you can buy the stock in the open market for 100. Why would you pay 200 from a contract holder? You're out of the money. In the money contracts and out of the money contracts are trading right now, not the second, but Monday to Friday during market hours. And we closed at 325 on GameStop. There are $400 call options. You can buy them or you can write them if you want to write them. If you've got 100 shares, you want to offer someone the opportunity to buy your shares from you at 400, you might get $150 cash for, say, a 1 month time frame where you got to wait a month where you can't do anything with your shares, but you get a 15 grand right now to sit there and do this for a month. And if the shares go to 250, you're still even, because you got 150 you get to keep, and the stock's at 250. The guy's not going to buy them off you for 400. So good. If you pay 250 for the stock and you get $150 to just offer them under an option, You pay $250. You're now into it for $100 because you got $150 back from this guy. But the stock goes to $600. That person's going to buy them off you for $400. But remember, they'll pay you $400 plus they gave you $150 already. That means you really are selling for $550, right? So if they go over $550, you start crying. But if they stay under $550, you're ahead of the game. If they go under $400, $300, down to $200, you are getting $150 of compensation from whatever you paid for the shares in the first place. So this is how the options market works. It's complicated. It's the same on put contracts, which is everything in reverse. Oh my gosh, do we have fun in the markets? Do the brokers, have they figured out this bookie business? They know what they're doing. Space Force Cooks, thank you for the donation. GameStop, stock versus options versus margins thoughts. Yeah, margin, you can buy the stock on margin. Well, you used to be able to buy the stock on margin. You can't buy it on margin anymore. Brokerage firms are pretty well shutting the margin game down, where you could, used to be you put up $100 and the broker said, here's another 100 that I'll lend you. What do you want to buy? You can buy $200 worth of whatever you want, as long as the stock's over $2 or $5 a share. That's over with GameStop. It's all a cash deal now. Paul, thank you. What will the whales who are long be doing to keep the price up? And that battle around the 320 market Friday afternoon, how did that happen? Well, again, there's a battle going on with all stocks at all times. Every single share listed on every exchange, there's always a war between buyer and seller. The shares are momentum units, and the market is a momentum unit. The Dow can be up 100 points and 15 minutes later be flat, and an hour later it can be down 400 points, and an hour later it can be flat again, and then in 15 minutes later it can be up 200 points. The Dow is just a reflection of all the stocks in a basket, the 30 big companies in one index. The S&P 500 index is a collection of the top 500 companies that are making up the S&P. Tesla is one of them, so is Apple. And these indexes fluctuate based on buying momentum, selling momentum at any moment in time during the day the markets are trading. And so the same thing happens here with this stock. So the 320 battle, it might have been a battle, it might not have been a battle. There's just a trading going on, and at the end of the day, you've got traders who have to finish selling whatever they were told to sell, and there are certain traders that have to have purchased so many shares that we're told to purchase, and there's this war going on in the last 15 minutes. There's this kind of a stare down. Are you dropping your price? Are you upping your price? Are you dropping your price? And in the meantime, people are coming in and trading, and you got this whole thousands of eyeballs, millions of eyeballs, and potentially thousands of traders ready to pounce on every single stock right to the closing bell, and then you have the aftermarket. And so this business is so huge, it is so global, it is so massive that a lot of you who are new to this are just going, oh my God, I had no idea it's this big. It's just so, I only hear about the Dow 30. I didn't know about this other stuff. It's incredible. Roman, my wife's boyfriend loves his Tesla and you, Bruce. Hold and buy GameStop to the moon with Bruce. Thank you, everybody. You guys are great. Thank you for all of these great comments. Jonas, in your previous stream, you mentioned the hedge funds might cut a deal with GameStop. What kind of deal would it be? Do you think the deal screw us? No. The last thing that GameStop wants to do is to work out an arrangement with their brokerage guys, their investment bankers, and have a deal that could hurt their shareholders. Because remember, the insiders of GameStop are shareholders too. Mr. Cohen, just that guy, has 9 million reasons why he doesn't want the stock to go down anymore. He wants the stock to go higher from here if he can help in any way to make that happen. Now, he thought when he bought the company, he bought his 9 million shares back in November, December range. He didn't think the stock would be 300 by the end of January. I mean, no way did he think that was going to happen. But he's happy it did. Believe me, he's happy. But he would really not like to see the stock go back to 20 again. No. So if he can help the corporation put a deal together that will bring a bunch of dough into the company's treasury, solidifying this company for decades to come, putting it on a whole new platform, a whole new playing field, where analysts on Wall Street will go, oh, everything has changed here. This isn't the GameStop from last month anymore. This is a whole new GameStop. That's what he's going to do. That's what he wants to do. And he has a vision to turn this company into an e-commerce retailer. E-commerce retailers trade at much higher multiples They have much higher upside. As I was saying to you, some of you last week, if you were watching me, I was showing you the value of Amazon stock, and that Amazon, as a profitable company, trades at 95 times earnings. So this is not a low, a conservative priced stock. 95 times earnings is way up there. Like a bank will trade at 12 times earnings. And an industrial company like GM will trade at 20 times earnings normally. Tesla, by the way, is not a normal car company. They're trading at over 1,500 times earnings, 1,400 times earnings right now. 1,400 times earnings. There are analysts still saying that they think Tesla will go up another $200+ a share from here. They're just convinced of it. To me, if it were to start trading at 1,000 a share, Tesla, that's upwards of 1,500 times earnings. Again, the perception of the public is investors, all investors, hedge funds, retail, mutual funds, pension funds, they look at Tesla and go, that's a different scenario. We think that their growth curve is substantial for decades to come, that the next 10 years, they are going to get bigger, much bigger every year with sales and installation of solar systems, battery arrays. They are going to be a major global player. And people, investors, are prepared to pay today 1,400 times earnings, because they're thinking that if I pay 800 now, a year from now, the kind of money those guys are going to be making, the stock's going to be trading at 500 times earnings. And a year after that, if I keep holding the shares, the kind of money they'll be compounding earning at that point with all these new factories up and running and everything else, they're only going to be trading at 100 times earnings what I paid for the stock. So I'm in 2 years, I'm looking like a genius. I'm prepared to give these guys 24 months. I'll give them the money now in the stock, and I'll just sit back and let the earnings catch up to the price. The hope, of course, for these investors is that in 2 years, it'll still be trading 1,000 times earnings, but on those higher earnings. So the shares might go from $800 to $5,000 a share. They're in at 800. They were called morons when they bought it. Now it's trading at $5,000, and it's 1,500 times earnings, because again, the growth curve of the company is such that will continue. This with GameStop. The insiders of GameStop are hoping for the same thing. If they can raise enough cash here at these, right around this area, or whatever the market wants to give them, if the shares this week are going to sit between 325 where they closed, if they're going to be between 200 and 500 a share this week, and I don't know where, how, when, why, and they sell stock anywhere in this range as the market allows, and they pull in a couple of $1 billion in cash, as little as that, this is a whole different company now. This is a whole different company. It's not the GameStop that we've known for years. They've never had $2 billion cash in the bank. But if they pull in $5 billion or $8 billion or $12 billion, that's another whole level of GameStop. That's a whole other entity. Keep in mind, the whole company, this entire corporation, last year when the stock was at $5 a share, this whole company, you could have bought it all. If you bought every share there was, if everyone sold you their stock, it was $350 million to buy the whole thing. $70 million at $5 a share. That's all this company was worth. On the stock market capitalization, it was showing a market cap of $350 million. At $300 a share, with $70 million outstanding, it's a $21 billion company. But we all know there are not 70 million just out there. There are another 60 on top of that out there that have been sold by hedge funds. There's 130 million out there trading at over $300 a share. Do you know that this company is actually market capped at over $40 billion right now? Although 60 million of the shares aren't issued by the company. So if the company were to issue the 60 million, if they were actually to sell 60 million from their treasury and let all these short sellers buy it, this will never happen, but I'm just talking in theory. That would mean at $300+ a share. That's $20 billion cash that would come into the treasury of the company. So if the company had 20 billion cash in the till in its bank account, and there's 130 million outstanding, you divide the 130 million shares into the $20 billion that's out there, and you've got a company worth a lot of money per share. You see, and it's $150, something like that, or more. That's the cash value plus the enterprise value and the goodwill that has been built up, and all this exposure that the company has received in the last 5 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the billions of dollars of free advertising that has come their way. They will get that much more advertising from the news sources, because all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, when this whole short thing started, GameStop was this big. Now that they've made this massive deal, the company is this big. It's a whole different company. It's really worth 40 billion enterprise value or more, and that the shares will not be $300 a share. It'll be much higher, because if you're prepared to pay $1,400 times earnings for Tesla, and they're sitting on 30 billion cash building factories, how much are you going to? What kind of a premium are investors prepared to pay for GameStop for the next 5 years of growth as they take this 20 billion or 2 billion or 4 billion or 6 billion, whatever billions they're going to be getting? If they pull this off like I want them to, they're going to take these billions to work, and they can transform their company into something completely different, and it'll trade at an unbelievable earnings multiple as their earnings come through and they grow out. Because remember, they're going to reduce the number of retail stores every day that goes by. This month, the January 31st, how many store leases are expiring January 31st? You walk in your local shopping mall 5 years ago, and at November and December, your shopping mall is packed full of retailers, all kinds of permanent retailers, and some of these, carpet guys and jewelry sellers and cosmetic people. By February, they were gone. Though they were called temps, temporary tenants. So by early Feb, you walk around your shopping mall and there's like 20% vacancy rate in your mall. And then the next October, November, the mall's full again, because these 60-day, 90-day pop-up stores come in for Christmas. In the case of the big retailers like GameStop, their leases expire after Christmas. They don't have any leases expiring October 31st. Goodness gracious. No, all major retailers, their leases expire after the new year, usually February, March, or April. They'll do their holiday sale, and if they know they're shutting the store down the first week of April, then February and March is 50% off, 60% off. Closing, going out of business sale, 80% off. They're liquidating out until April, and then they take a hike. So in the case of GameStop, how many leases are coming up now? And in February and in March, a ton of leases are expiring. Will they renew a bunch of them? That's what we're going to watch. Something tells me in North America, they're either going to get out completely of retail, or they're going to just go down to a certain number, maybe 1,200, 1,500 superstore, super GameStop locations that really generate a lot of money because of their, population they live in. They're surrounded by 500,000 people per location, whatever it is, like New York, for example, or Philadelphia, or, downtown or whatever. But the small town GameStops might shut down because they make money, but they don't make enough to justify the cost factor. If they can lower their rents, lower the cost of negotiating rents, lower the cost of handling all of these thousands of stores with all the local sales tax and community taxes, city taxes, ordinances, and all this, crap that a retailer has to go through, they'll do it. They'll drop their cost of being in business by millions and millions of dollars a year, year in and year out, month in and month out. They'll just keep doing it, and they'll improve and put their money into an e-commerce company, and they will deliver merchandise from their warehouse in Mississauga, Ontario for Canada, their warehouses in Texas for the US of A, their warehouses in Australia for the market down under, their warehouses in Europe for their market there. And then they will build new warehouses in other districts to go completely global, because they are not completely global right now. So they can go for the rest of the world and go after all the gamers with online marketing and promotion. They have 55 million members right now of their Power Up Club. That's their GameStop in-house mailing list already. That's 55 million they can shoot at, and they will go after the other 2 billion gamers that are out there who've heard about them now in the last month. Every gamer's heard about GameStop in the last month, whether they want to hear about them or not. They're hearing about them, because with you and me and everyone else talking about GameStop, this story has gone viral, mega viral. So yeah, we're in for a little bit of fun here. We'll see what happens. But again, if they issue stock to investors through investment bankers, I think the shares go higher. They will not go lower. This is not a death sentence for shareholders. This is a lifeline and an upward momentum event that Tesla used the same strategy. because Tesla a year ago, 2 years ago, they started selling stock from the treasury as their shares started to rise up in value because Elon Musk was upset with the short sellers. He made it known that he was out to get these guys. They're going to rue the day that they shorted Tesla at $250 a share, $350 a share, and $400 a share. And they had their analysts on all the TV networks and on all the blogs and the vlogs and the newspapers saying Tesla is going back to $50 a share. He said, you will rue the day that you decided to short stock in my car company. I will show you guys. And sure enough, he came out with the Model X, the Y, the all the models, and the new plants got built, and the new China plant got built, and the new solar panels got made, and the new battery system, and the company just kept expanding out and expanding out and expanding out, expanding out. And the stock went to 500, 550, 600. The short sellers started to panic. They started to buy up the stuff, running up the market. It was a short squeeze on Tesla, and Tesla started issuing stock from the treasury. And they would announce, yeah, we just raised $5 billion this morning through Goldman Sachs to add to our $7 billion. Now we have $12 billion cash. And a week later, 2 weeks later, oh, we raised another $5 billion. We now have $17 billion cash. And stock analysts are going, I was saying the stock was worth $60. No. I'm going to revise my buy. I'm going to put this on my buy conviction. I'm going to put a $300 target on it, but it was trading at 600. But they're now putting a 300 on. The floor just raised. The foundation just got larger. All these other analysts would coming out with their analysis, and some were saying, oh, it's going to 800, and they were called idiots. And others saying, oh, it's going to go to 600 where it is. It's going to go to 600. I justify this price is justified. Others, no, only 300, 400. The stock kept going up. The pressure was on because billions were shorted, and more buyers are coming in than sellers because these analysts are saying, buy this stuff. And it went to 1,000 a share. It went to 1,200 a share, and they raised another $5 billion, another $5 billion. And when you raise $5 billion at 200 a share, when you raise $5 billion at 800 a share, you don't have to issue as many shares anymore because the stock is that much more valuable. With GameStop right now, they issue if they issue 10 million shares at $325 a share, that's $3.25 million, $3.25 billion. The company was worth $350 million last summer. That's 10 times what they used to be worth. This is good for shareholders. Their shares will never go to $4 again. They're never going to go to 20. They're never going to go to 50. They're never going to go down to 100. This is what you want the company to do. Absolutely. Paul, what will the whales who are long be doing to keep the price up and battle around 220? No, I already did that this question. Sorry, guys. I'm just way behind you now because your comments are coming in fast and furious. You're awesome. Donations have been coming in fast and furious. I really appreciate it. Aaron, you got to stop with these constant postings or I'll have to kick you out. Just telling you, man. Let's see here. What else have we got going here? Dan, do you think the recent share price volatility could muddy the waters if GameStop is currently working on a new shell offer? No, it's going to be a very good news, very, very good news. These skeptic guys that you see on the networks are going to go, well, a lot of people thought these guys were underwater. Then a lot of people thought that their price was way overvalued. Now with the moves they've made, it looks like the company's a lot more solid than it was before. They still won't tell you it's great. They still won't admit that they were wrong all the way. But they will start to grudgingly admit, well, these guys aren't as stupid as we thought they were. They kind of raised a lot of money. They took advantage of this market. Yeah, I don't think the people running GameStop are stupid. I think they've been on a gag order. They've been restricted from talking, and they can't wait to start speaking 1 second after midnight tonight. That's my hunch. I don't know if they will speak at 1 second after midnight, but we're going to have some fun tomorrow. Ed, Bruce, save some energy for tomorrow. We need you on top form. Can we have another sample of your Aussie accent? Howdy, mate. Let me put a shrimp on the Barbie. I can't do that. I can't. Thank you, everybody, for those of you who are making PayPal donations while I'm yapping here. I've seen a few come through, and I've totally been ignoring them because I'm just, you know what I do. I talk. I love to talk. Thank you. Also, those of you who are buying stuff on Redbubble. 2 coffee mugs from Great Britain have been purchased. Pretty cool. Another purchase on Redbubble here. Oh my goodness. A mug of GameStop, a sticker of TWB, this mug right here, Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you guys for those of you who are stepping in here and picking up some items. Redbubble getting royalties every time. Another GameStop mug just been purchased there. Thank you to Isha Lino for your donation for the Tesla fund. Thank you very much. I've been watching these videos about the new Tesla, learning all about the Plaid model and all that. Wow, what a car. TBT LLC made a donation to me on PayPal. What would happen to the stock price and the possible squeeze if GameStop were to release more shares for capital? We just talked about that. I don't think they're going to issue like 50 million shares. I don't think so. My hunch is that the brokers that are advising the company off the record, without talking to the media, they're not going to talk to the media. I think the brokers out there are saying to the company, you do want to raise some cash while these billions of dollars are trading hands in your issue. You certainly want to take advantage of some of this cash. You're not going to harden the market in any way, shape, or form. But you want to do it just a little at a time and tease the shorters with some potential stock, but they'll never get enough to get out. That I expect very much will be happening. And so I would not be surprised if the company the company issues 2 million shares. They say, "Oh, we just did a private placement of 2 million shares at $325 a share. $650 million. Oh, I just raised $650 million. Oh." And then a week later, 2 days later, whatever it is, oh yeah, we issued 2 million shares at $400 a share, 800 million more. Oh, boring. 800 million. The stock will not be affected in a negative way because the analysts will go, "Oh, wow, look at this. 2 sales of stock, 4 million shares, 1.4 billion cash. Whoa, guess what they're doing, guys? They're going to be behind. They're going to be behind. They're not going to be on top of this. Going to be behind this story. You guys are ahead of this story. It's huge. It's very positive. 4 million shares from the Treasury how does that take care of a 60 million share short position? It doesn't. They're still done. Chris, thank you. 5 for the Tesla fund. What are the reasons GameStops would choose not to issue new stock? There's no good reason not to. I'll tell you that. Why wouldn't they issue stock? Because no broker would want to do it with them. That would be stupid. I can't imagine a broker not wanting to do the deal. I'm wondering, again, kids, I want to give you like all the variables, all the possibilities. It could be happening, right? It could have been happening for a month already, but now in the last 2 weeks, it's really picked up. That a Wall Street brokerage firm has come to GameStop to have a private chat. They flew one of their guys down there, one of their finance guys down there, met the boys in the office and said, "Look, we know you're going e-commerce. That's exactly what you're doing. 34% of your sales are now online already. You're going to become an online retailer. That's going to be your big segment. Your retail business will be a minority of your overall business. And we know that you want to diversify out more into this area, e-commerce. Well, we have a client. We, the brokerage firm, we have a client that is an e-commerce company of sorts, up and comer, blah, blah, blah. Might be a public company, might be a private company. They need to grow as well. And we think putting you two together might be a really good idea for all, because it'll take GameStop and this company together to a level of e-commerce leveling that is just unimaginable by most shareholders out there. And here's what we're prepared to do for you guys. We believe that the company you could buy is a $10 billion company. We think we know you are valued right now at 15 billion or 20 billion. But combined, you guys could be worth 100 billion. And what we could work out is a stock cash kind of a deal where GameStop will issue stock from its treasury to these guys to buy that company and merge it in. GameStop is now worth double its value in assets, cash flow, potential. But we, the brokerage firm, we will place 30 million shares out there at $400 a share or whatever it is, and we'll raise you $12 billion. So that 12 billion is in the GameStop treasury, along with this company over here, And the whole thing together will trade at 100 million, 120 million a share. And that could put the stock at 500, 700. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm throwing stuff out there because the higher the stock goes and they're able to raise cash, that stock is collateral. That stock is currency. That's what the stock certificates are now. It's currency of the corporation to buy more assets, producing cash flowing assets. And you just transformed this into a whole different thing. In effect, the company, GameStop, has become a SPAC. It's become a little IPO, publicly traded, of course. It's an IPO public company, but all of a sudden the assets coming into it could be so juicy for paper that the two combined are worth, 1 and 1 is 3. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And then add cash to it. 1 and 1 in cash is 6. And now it just goes out, and no one saw this coming. And the shorters they're really in trouble. So yeah, I'm wondering, in the last 2 weeks, have short sellers been talking to their brokers who've been talking to investment finance guys in New York who've been talking to GameStop to say they want out. They are desperate to get out. And GameStop is saying, we'd like to help them, but we can't help them until February because we're on a gag order until the end of the year for our annual report. We are not allowed to make any moves until Feb 1. So we can talk to you about ideas and thoughts and possibilities, but there's nothing we can do right now until we're allowed to talk under SEC rules. That could be happening here. Again, I'm here to throw you all what could be happening. No one on CNN, no one on MSNBC, Fox News will talk like this because they shouldn't. This is speculation. This is just me throwing stuff at you guys. Don't be surprised if you hear this, or don't be surprised if this happens. And it doesn't happen Monday. It might happen a week from Monday. It might happen a month from now. I don't know. These possibilities could happen at any time anyway. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Thank you for this donation, super sticker. Thank you, Project RDT. Is it possible that some hedge funds could start buying some stocks to cover their losses? They've been trying to buy. They've run the market up to 325. It's been gyrating everywhere, but they have been unsuccessful to get all their stock back. I'm so grateful I found your channel, Johnson Stock. Thank you so much for your insight. I have a much better understanding of the market, and I've learned so much because of you. Thank you very much. Oh, Gary Brown, what have you done? Gary Brown, what have you done? Oh my goodness. I just saw a donation come into my PayPal account that I have never seen before. There's a few digits there. I've never seen that before. Hang on, we'll get to that in a minute. So let me breathe. Logan, thanks for streaming on a Sunday. Anything to watch out for open tomorrow? Everything to watch out for. Get up early, kids. Steve, hi Bruce. Is it unwise to buy fractional? Is it unwise to buy fractional GameStop through smaller brokerage versus whole shares? Look, if you got $50, like someone said, or $80, $200, you haven't got enough money to buy even one share. You can buy a half a share. You can buy $200 worth if you want, $144.28 worth. Certain firms will allow you to buy any amount you want as long as it's a certain minimum, like a $5 minimum or higher, whatever it is. I'll put it to you this way. If you're throwing $150 into GameStop and you're prepared to live with the fact that it theoretically could go higher or theoretically could go much lower, and you don't care either way as far as the lower goes, you're okay with you're prepared to take a sting if you're wrong, go ahead, buy with cash you can afford to lose. Yeah, and if you lose half of it, 3/4 of it, hey, what a learning experience. But if this company is doing what I think they could be doing, folks, it's like a lottery ticket. I mean, how much money a year do you spend on lottery tickets? Let's throw it that way. I'll compare it to the worst investment there is, okay? I'm guilty of the worst investment there is. I buy lottery tickets. You could buy $10 a week in lottery tickets. That's $500 a year. So take your lottery money and throw it into here for a one-time shot and sit back. Now, it's not going to go up 1,000 times in value, but if the shares go from 300 and whatever, that's where you get in at, let's say, and they go to $1,000 a year from now, congratulations, you've tripled your money. Well, way to go. I bet you won't have done that in your lottery. Maybe you have. Some of you might win the lottery, but this is a little more of a safer bet in that regard. At least it's a partial bet because I don't think it'll go to zero. Lotteries go to zero. You buy your ticket, you don't win, it's worth zero. You lost it all. Here, well, maybe you've lost a half of it, or you lost a quarter of it, or it doesn't move at all. It just gyrates, but it doesn't go. It's the same price a year from now. It's your lottery money. If you're using it, if you take that analogy, then you can sleep at night. And I want you folks to be able to sleep at night and have fun watching the show during the day. But then again, those of you who've got 20 grand worth of this stock, you bought 5,000 shares at $40, and you're getting out at $500 or $600, and you're turning this into some substantial money. Am I a happy guy? You darn right, I'm a happy guy. I'm going, yeah, baby. If this changes your life, I am really happy. I am really thrilled. It just warms my heart to get messages from a lot of you who are telling me, what's going on. And then some of you are making donations to me already, and some of you have been, I did all right. Thank you. Oh, I'm going, thank you. Like, really, thank you so much. Kevin, can you please talk about the counterfeit shares and failure to deliver and what that means? I did talk about that at the beginning of the show. So when I'm over, go back there and watch the first half hour. It's all there. I don't want to repeat myself. Especially for those who are here the whole time. Catastrophe. Bruce, thank you for being the most wholesome investor. Can you explain how sometimes short selling a company can cause that company to death? Yes. A company gets shorted. It gets attacked by a hedge fund or a group of hedge funds or a group of investors and hedge fund. A company's trading at $85 a share, and their sales are leveling off. Their business is, doing whatever, and short sellers smell opportunity. What is that? Money. They smell money, and they figure, I'm going to sell this stock short at $85 a share. And hedge funds come together, and one hedge fund will say, we are managing $12 billion. This company is trading at $85 a share. We're going to throw $2 billion of our power, $2 billion of our muscle power against this stock, and we're going to start slowly. We're going to slowly sell stock into the market short, just short. We don't even want the stock to go down. We want to just get out and build our short position. Once we get up to about $1 billion into a short position, now we're going to take the second billion we have, and we're going to start aggressively selling this stock hard. And now is when we're going to hire our pros. We're going to hire, an analyst over here as a shill, and we're going to hire this guy to write a bad article about the company. And we're going to start hyping the fact that their financials are looking bad and their sales chain doesn't look good. And we're just going to let the world know how awful these guys are as we aggressively start selling the stock. So they get the stock down to $75 a share by flooding the street with stock. Sell $100 million worth in like a day or two, down go the shares, and then out come these all of these voices. Trouble, they're in big trouble. Oh, the company's losing all kinds of money. They're in trouble. And down go, they just keep hitting the stock. And now more short sellers come in because they smell, oh, this fund over here is dumping the stock. They're shorting it. We're getting on it too. And all of a sudden the stock goes to 65 and 60 and 58. And the company comes out and says, no, we're fine. We're fine. We've got our next quarter is going to be a great quarter. We've cut our costs. So we've changed people. And the hedge funds are going, oh no, you guys are lying. And the battle is on. You got the guys who support the company and those who don't. And if the short sellers are too big for the management, down goes the stock. And the company may have had an idea to raise a bond offering to raise $500 million when the stock was at $85 a share. They would have wanted to issue bonds that were convertible into stock at, say, $90 for 5 years. They were going to raise $500 million to revamp their entire business. Now they can't do it. The stock's at 55. They can't issue bonds with an offer at 90 conversion. No way. They won't touch it. They can't even issue bonds anymore because the bond buyers are going, well, we're not so sure if we want to put any money into your company because we're hearing some pretty bad stuff. And the shorters keep hitting these guys and down. And then, innocent investors are selling stock because they're worried about their investment. Oh, I bought this at 80. I thought it would go to 100. It's at 55. I got to get out. I can't take these losses. And so down goes the stock, 30, 35 to 33, 29, 20. And the shorters who shorted at 85, they're slowly buying the stock back between 20 and $25 a share. Slowly but surely lightening their position, buying up their stock, cashing in $60 a share. Thank you very much. And they're buying it through various brokerage houses, so no one can figure out who the buyers are. It's the same guys. But the street's just trading away. There's this bad news story still coming out while these guys are buying up the stock. Is that market manipulation? I think so. I think it's one hand doing one thing and another hand doing the other, and neither have to disclose what they're doing to the market. And the SEC seems to say, "Oh, it's okay. We're monitoring the situation here, and we don't see anything wrong with anything here. We're fine. Everything is good to go. But if there's too much rampant speculation with retail investors, we'll have to investigate that." But these hedge funds, let them do whatever the heck they want. They have got leverage power like you cannot believe. That's what's happening. Turd, thank you for the super sticker today, buddy. Appreciate all the donations you've made to me. I really do. Joseph, thank you. Also, can you explain how the short squeeze will happen? Will it be one big squeeze or multiple small squeezes? Will this last minutes, hours, days, months? It's already been going on, and it will continue. This is going to go a long, long time. Hi, Bruce. New subscriber here. George says, can you please explain the short laddering we saw Friday and how it works? No, it won't. It has nothing to do with anything. There's people always trying to buy the stock, people always trying to sell the stock. Sometimes it's just mutual funds getting in, mutual funds getting out. Sometimes it's hedge funds shorting the stock and getting, and sometimes certain times during the day there's more activity than others. These ladders and all this stuff, don't fall for any of that crap. It's just buying and selling, and it's end of day adjustments. Certain traders are trading with house money, what we call pro trading. I haven't mentioned that very much. Pro trading is a big deal. It's like, for example, Merrill Lynch, they'll have their trading desks, and they're using Merrill Lynch's own money. They're using Merrill Lynch money to buy and sell stock on the open market. And Merrill Lynch day traders will try to buy the stock, buy 100,000 shares at $310 a share on GameStop. And if they can blow those off at $315, they're a happy guy. They have no interest in making the market go up or down. They just want to make a flip, 10,000 at a time. Some pro traders, in-house pro traders, have a budget of $1 million. They can only use $1 million of the house money. And at the end of the night, they got to be flat. You can't be long or short at the bell. And so they get long at lunchtime, and the stock went down on them a little, and then the stock came up, and it's coming up at the end, and they're selling at the end to get flat. And so they don't have any house money on the line. And at the end of the day, the house says, "Oh, okay, Bruce, you bought and sold GameStop all day long, and you made 10 grand profit. After all said and done, no commissions payable to you. You made a profit of 10 million bucks today, or $100,000. A percentage of that goes to the day trader, and a percentage of that goes to the house. That's how this game works. It used to be when I was in the business, floor traders on the Alberta Stock Exchange would have pro trading accounts. Some of these guys had like $100,000 trading accounts, but we were talking about penny stocks. We were talking about $4 stocks, $2 stocks, $1 stock. And these guys have 100 grand lying around, and they would be in and out or out and in. They'd short to buy back. They weren't shorting overnight. They were shorting intraday. At the end of the day, they were flat. And so sometimes they won and sometimes they lost. And so at the end of the month, the house would do the tally and go, "Oh, Bruce, you lost $5,000 this month. You only get your salary, no bonus, and you're negative 5 grand starting the next month." And so at the end of the next month, they tally up, "Oh, Bruce, you made 15 grand this month. Well, we take the 5 away that you lost last month. You're plus 10. Your salary has been paid to you, and now you get 30% of the profit, or 40%, or 50-50, whatever the split is between the trader and the house. It's house money, but the trader is kind of on the line for it. He doesn't have to pay it if he loses it, but he could lose his job if he loses too much. And so every month, that's how it's done. And every day, this is done in currencies, bonds, stocks, every commodity you can imagine. There are day traders, pro traders, every firm has them, and that adds liquidity to the market. That's why there's so much action in the marketplace. It is truly mind-numbing, people, what's going on out there. Hard for a lot of you, a lot of you aren't in it. And a guy like me who's been out of it a while, you forget just how unbelievable and how liquid this business really is and how leveraged it is. Spencer, thank you for this donation. If the in-the-money call options are failed to deliver, do the buyers get to name their price? If so, is that price done inside or outside the market? How would the scenario affect shareholders? No. If you have an option and you can buy stock at $100 a share that's trading at $325, you will get your stock delivered to you by the CME. That will be taken care of. You will get your stock. End of story. It's an electronic transfer. You paid for them. You got them. All right. What happens to that market maker is looked after between the CME and the market maker, and it's his or her firm. It's taken care of. There's no issues there. No Life Club. You can talk about. No, I'm not going to talk about AMC. Sorry, not doing that. That's not why we're here. Thank you guys for these donations. Thank you for the 4,000 of you that are here right now. I didn't think we'd have that many watching me on a Sunday. A donation came in while I was yapping here, and I wanted to double check to see if I saw this right. I did see this right. What do we got here? Gary Brown. Thank you, Gary Brown. I know it is early, but will you be my Valentine? Thank you, Bruce. Save me a spot on the future group cruise. Gary, I sure hope you didn't mistype the amount that you're sending me, that you hit the wrong decimal point, because this is the single largest donation I've ever had from anyone. And to say the least, I am blown away, and I think Jennifer knows it too, because she's on the computer over here. Thank you very much for that. And I can only say, and I can only hope that there are folks out there like this gentleman who are making so many oodles of dollars that they're throwing this humble YouTuber a slice because of the appreciation that they have for my efforts. And I can't tell you, I get enough of those kinds of donations. I'm getting me a Tesla. That's pretty awesome stuff. Thank you very, very much for that. That is really awesome stuff. That's, you just, as a YouTuber, you dream once in a while, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could, you really score some serious donation. But you don't, you quickly, after a few weeks of being a YouTuber, you're brought back to earth. That's not how it usually works. But from time to time, some of us get lucky, and you could say I'm lucky in that I've got this many viewers and people are sending me donations and everything. But on the other hand, I was talking about this stock when I had 150 subscribers to this channel, and then 200 and 400 and 800 and 1200. And I didn't know what would happen to GameStop like it did. And I also didn't realize that 3 months ago that I would be doing what I'm doing right now, spending this much time on the air to talk about it. I had no idea that this would be a thing. But hey, do I regret it? No, I'm loving it. And thank you all for your donations. And I hope you guys, make just a pile of money. I really do. So thank you, everybody. I won't tell you how much it is. It's any donation made to me on PayPal is a confidential amount, because some of you would like to make a donation to me, but you don't want it publicly known. The beauty of a donation on PayPal is that 96 to 98% of the funds that are transferred to me there, Jennifer and I get them. The funds that you donate to us on these super stickers and donation, we get 70% of this money. So 30% goes to YouTube, 70% comes to me. But I have to wait until the 21st of the next month to get paid. So these donations that you're making right now, I get them in 3 weeks. 21st of February, I'll get my earnings. And I love these. Believe me, I love this. I can't thank you enough. Thank you also here, Key Lime. Thank you for this. I'm a happy guy. These are great. These add up. I mean, there were so many of these last Thursday, I couldn't keep up with them. And I'm making more money on YouTube these last 3 days than I've ever made, on a day-to-day basis. But I'm also aware of the fact that this could end tomorrow. I don't know how long this goes. I have no idea what's happening with the shares for sure. Next week, next month, I can only say, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for these donations. And we are banking. We are banking cash to get through the winter, get into the summer. If I get ill and I can't go on for a month or two, hey, I'm 65. I'm not 15 years old. I don't know. You never know. And so, folks, you are changing our lives. You are really changing our lives right now, and I thank you. Can you detail what you can imagine is the best case and worst case for GameStop? What indicators to look for to see which of these is playing out? Well, I've gone over that all show here. I do this all the time. I'll talk about this again tomorrow on the air. I'll be on, by the way, before we open in the morning. I will be on the pre-opening. I'm not exactly sure what time, so just keep an eye on my channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that little bell icon that you see near the subscribe button. make sure you find a device that allows you to hit the bell notification icon and allow alerts to come to your phones or tablets, computers, whatever you're watching me on, because the minute I decide to go live, I load up my show on my StreamYard software system and I do an alert through YouTube, and that's when the message will fly over to you. And so again, if you get the message that I'm going live, great. Then you can, catch me right away and not miss what's going on. So I'll be on sometime in the pre-market tomorrow, and something tells me I'll be on for most of the day. Again, I never know I'll see how long the voice lasts. See if I can hang in there. I know Jennifer's helping me out. She keeps me hydrated and hanging on. Thank you, AB, for that. Are there hedges buying GameStop to hurt shorting rivals? Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are hedge funds buying this stuff, knowing that hedge funds are short this stuff. Oh, yes. Oh, this is a war. This is a war on a $100 level, on a $500 per trade level, on a $10,000 per trade level, on $1 million per trade level, $20 million trade level. Oh, yeah. There are billions of dollars changing hands on GameStop all the time, and every day on Apple and on Microsoft and on Amazon. Hundreds, billions of dollars changing hands on different stocks every day. This stock here, if they trade 50 million shares at $300 a share, that's 15 billion on the buy side and 15 billion on the sell side, changing hands. Yeah, all the time. It is a huge, huge deal, and it's a major battle between good and evil, depending on who do you think's good and who do you think's evil. Hey, Bruce, you had my question up but didn't answer. I'm sorry, I missed it. I've been so hectic here trying to keep up on everybody. Let's see. Don't know if I see it there. And don't know what's going on there. Hi, Bruce. Say hey to Dave for me, says Alex. I can't find it anymore. Sorry, folks. These questions are just going by so quickly with 4,000, roughly 3,800 people here at the same time. I'm not able to keep up on every single comment. So I apologize. It's all I can do. I do the best I can with what little I have. It should be fun tomorrow. At the very least, it should be a lot of fun tomorrow. Thank you all for picking up traveling with, stock markets with Bruce stuff. Here's a coffee cup we did today. GameStop with Uncle Bruce. Here's a regular coffee mug, GameStop with Uncle Bruce. Thank you for those of you picking these up. Fantastic. Thank you, Mike, for this donation right here. What should we look out for tomorrow? I'll only be talking GameStop, buddy. What are the good resources for us U.S. researchers learning before trading and finance? You can do a lot of digging through Google on learning about how the markets work. I mean, there is endless information available. There are some of the firms out there. Thank you, Pedro, for this. Thank you. There are firms out there who would love you to open up an account with them, and they have an FAQ section, frequently asked questions. They also have free kind of online courses you can take to learn about how the markets work. You can really investigate this stuff. It really is wide open. So worth your time. Again, thank you for helping out. These coffee mugs are available as well. We'll be making more versions of the coffee mugs. I will eventually have T-shirts. We'll have hoodies. We'll have in some cases we have the cell phone covers now. We'll have other items coming out, stickers and women's tops and pillows, wall clocks, and more different logos. I need to get into this in a big way. But I as you know, I just haven't had the time to do it. I've been so busy preparing for my live shows every day to stay with you all on the pre-market, during the day, a little aftermarket activity. Did a video yesterday as an update video. It's been all consuming with GameStop, which I think is where I should be spending my time to, help guide you all where we're at and where we're headed. And I will. This fun stuff will come. Believe me, there will be fun stuff. But I'm going to need to, get to it, and I've got Jennifer working on it, and we'll, bit by bit, day by day, more will come, and we'll see what we can do. Oh, I've got something else for you guys. I'm going to mention this today. I was saving this for tomorrow. I'm going to mention now. There's 3,500 of you here. You're the first 3,500 to find out about it. So let me mention this now. Some of you who are followers of me, you know all about this. And I'm not here to torture you with this continual story, but I'm going to mention this right now. I have a postcard here from Creston, British Columbia that I had custom made. It's a Traveling with Bruce postcard. There I am, face for radio. This is shot in the summertime with my shirt on. The shirt I've got on right here. And it's right by the Welcome to Creston sign. I produced these cards last summer as a sort of a fundraiser for Traveling with Bruce, just to kind of bring a few bucks. And if you would like one of these cards, here's the deal. Here's what I've done on my Traveling with Bruce channel with these cards. If you're making a donation to me through PayPal, and that's the deal, it's got to be a PayPal donation because 96% of the funds land in my account. If you can make a $10 US donation or more and throw in your name and address in that donation and just say, send me a postcard. I will mail you a postcard no matter where in the world you are from Creston BC, from this humble YouTuber. Now, it is a TWB card and it's not a Stock Market with Bruce card, but eventually I'll produce those. But I have about, 100 or so left or something like that. We had several done and we sent a bunch out at Christmas time. So if you'd like to get a hand autographed GameStop Stock Market with Bruce autograph on the back from yours truly, I'd be happy to do that. You'll note that when you see the address, those are handwritten by Jennifer because everybody can read her writing. So a $10 donation on PayPal, I will mail out a TWB postcard to you anywhere on the planet, and that after expenses and the postage and the printing of it, it's great to do. But give us a week or two to get it done because I do expect these to go pretty quickly. I thought I'd recommend it now, mention it now with 35 or 3,300 of you here, because if tomorrow morning we're up to 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 viewers and I pull this out, I don't know if they'll be gone by tomorrow. I don't know. I don't want to sound full of myself, but I do want to be honest with you and say, look, I've got these, and we are delighted to send out GameStop autograph cards. So if you want one, by all means, PayPal donation, $10 or more, send us your name and address. If you've sent me a $10 donation already on PayPal, like yesterday before, just send me another message, either my email, which is down below, and say, hey, Bruce, I sent you a donation last week for blah, blah, blah. I would love a postcard, and we'll figure it out, and we'll get them out. All right? So thank you, everybody, for that. Laura, could there be a wider negative impact sell-off on the market if hedge funds are losing so much money? Could Wall Street crash the markets? No. The amount of money we're talking about with GameStop, if these hedge funds lose $10 billion overall, and they've already lost billions, they can cover that. They really can cover that. It's not a problem. If the stock goes to 500 a share and they're losing $20 billion, they can cover that. If it goes to $1,700 a share and they're losing $40 billion, it's tough, but it'll be covered. It'll be covered. You as an investor have nothing to fear. And the market itself, there are trillions of dollars of stock trading every day on the market. These 10, 15, 20, $40 billion amounts we're talking about are such a drop in the bucket compared to the big system as a whole. It won't have an issue. It won't have an impact. Okay, so no, the fact that the market went down on Friday has nothing to do with GameStop. It has nothing to do with GameStop. It has everything to do with the virus, that type of information. We're dealing with global economy, kind of hanging around right now. So not too worried. All right. Last Wednesday, North Korean asset manager sold 3.3 million shares of GameStop, and then restrictions came on Thursday to buy. Do you think this is fishy? I don't think so. I think there are brokerage firms that are having difficulty of settling trades from 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, and they've been restricting buying on a speculative basis. The hope I have is that this is going to get cleared up quickly. But Robinhood has definitely lost a lot of street cred. Bruce, how will you be able to send us a postcard while you're on the moon? While we're on the moon, that's right. I'm going to have to send it up with one of those Elon Musk rockets, and then figure out a way to get it to you. So, folks, it might take a little longer, 2 weeks to get it, but when you get it in zero G, you'll know it's from me, and I mean all the best to you. So. Laura, could there be a wider negative impact on the market? No, I don't. Like I say, I don't think so. Thank you, Laura, for that comment. That's a good question. Jeff, Citadel is the 5th largest investor in silver. Let's short silver. I don't think you should play that game. I really just ignore that nonsense. Forget about it. No. This stock with only 50 million free trading shares, that's the reason why the shares are where they're at, and they could go much higher. There's only 50 million shares free trading. In reality, there's only maybe 10 million that are trading hands, plus the 60 million short. So there's 70 million trading, but 60 million are short, and they can only get 10 on the street. Silver, unlimited supply of silver. There's no way you're going to corner that. You guys, I know there's 7 million Wall Street bets people, but unless you want to put $1 million in each, you're not. There's silver everywhere, and the higher silver goes, you'd be shocked at how much silver will come to the market that will be remelted from thousands of years ago, decades ago. There's tons of silver available. I wouldn't be playing that game. Frank, Arts, what's the likelihood of GameStop releasing some news, i.e. share release, restructure? What do you think of the stock do? Yes, I'm expecting the company to make announcements, and I'm praying it's tomorrow. I really am hoping that this is going to happen tomorrow, because the company has been dead silent. I think they've been dead silent because their year end ends on January 31, today. And I'm hoping tomorrow they're free to talk, and they will talk a lot. I'm really hoping that. Thank you for that question. Really good question. And it's definitely on my mind. There's no doubt about that. Brett, why no chatter about AMC? Not today. I'm not here to talk about AMC today. Kevin, $10 donation. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that very much. You guys are helping out here dramatically. Kivrin, how can I learn to judge a company's value so I can tell if a company is truly in trouble or if it's, yes, you got to learn how to read financial statements. And you can always look up SEC filings on financial statements, but they might be 200 pages long. It's a lot of stuff to read. You may want to just look up for research. So do a Google search, GameStop research or XYZ company research. Find out what the analysts are saying about it. There's a lot of analysts that go through this stuff, and they really dig into financials. They dig into news announcements. They have contacts at the board level. They have deep contacts at the brokerage level, hedge fund level. You might find a lot there about what's going on. You've got to do your research, kids. And of course, Wall Street Bets, there's people covering a lot of stuff on there. So that could be another area of finding stuff. Again, thank you everybody for your comments, following me, your donations, your kind words of support. I do appreciate it. As I say, we have been extremely busy, and I will be very busy tomorrow. I'll be on the air tomorrow for sure before the market even opens, and you can certainly join me for probably the whole day. Elusive Artie, Melvin had an infusion of capital. Do you think Melvin used that capital to extend their short position at a higher level for another month or so, or to enable them to recover? I think they use it to recover. Maybe 60-40. 60-40 to recover and 40% to build up a cash position to keep going with other stuff. Because they, I think, got out in the 140 range, 140 to 160 range, but they were short, bet you at 10, 12, 20 bucks a share. They were short way down here by millions. I can't tell you the numbers because you don't have to release it. This guy bought a ton of gold and had to pay storage fees. Eventually, he built a vault and asked for his gold. They refused. Eventually, it came out there was no gold. It was just paper gold. Unbelievable. Let's see. Well, they're going to need to pump DOG and BTC like ever before. Again, I'm not here to talk about anything else. I'm not going to talk about AMC. It's all right for people to talk about this. Let's see here. Any more comments? Oh, here we go. Vernon, do you expect another artificial dip tomorrow? Trying to figure out if I want to buy first thing in the morning or wait. Let's see what the pre-market does. The pre-market will give away a lot of indications of what's happening, because the pre-market, the shares don't trade as much as when they have the real market, the opening of the actual market, the big houses come involved. So we'll follow this, opening pre-market closely, see how it works, see how it, moves along, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Like I said, guys, there's a lot that we're going to have to watch for and stay on right from 4 hours before the street even opens for trading. And what is that, 5 Eastern, 6 Eastern, something like that? Yeah, probably 5 Eastern, something like that. There's we could have announcements between midnight and 1 a.m. from the company. I don't know. I'm telling you what could happen. I'm not saying what will, but what could is limitless. What could happen? It's absolutely I'll be watching as much as I can, folks. I'll be here. If you want to join me tomorrow, I welcome you to hang out with me and we'll follow it together. AB, must a stock split be even in the current price? Say 10 to 1 out of 300, make it 30 a share if done today, or could it be 120 a share? How does it work? Oh, yeah. So a company can do all kinds of splits. I believe Apple once did a split. It was a 2 for 3. 2 shares now, you got 3 shares. So the shares are trading at 300 a share. You had 2 of them, $600 worth. Well, now you got 3 shares. The stock the next day started at $200. That's possible. 4 for 3, but usually it's singles, like 2 for 1 split, 3 for 1, 4 for 1, 5 for 1. Yeah, I've rarely seen more than 5 for 1 on the stock that's running up. I usually haven't seen, at least I can't recall many. It's odd. I have seen 10 for 1 rollbacks, the reverse split, where the stock's at 30 cents a share and they do a 10 for 1 and get it trading at $3 again. Or it's a $4 stock and they do a 10 for 1, they get it trading at 40. I've seen those. That's when the stocks have really come down and they're trying to shrink down the number of shares outstanding because there's hundreds of millions outstanding and they bring it down to 50 million from 500 million, or 500 million from 5 billion, or whatever the deal is, right? So I've seen rollbacks. That happens when companies are in trouble. Splits this way, where you get 10 for 1. You have 1 GameStop, well, you get 10 now, and the stock will, instead of trading at 325 a share, it'll trade at 32.50, and let's see what happens from there. Well, if the stock goes from 32.50 to $40, that's like going from $325 to $400. So you're just as rich. You just get, it's just more paper flying around. Apple just did, I think, a 4 for 1 split. Tesla, I think it did a 5 for 1 split. And so Tesla at $800 a share is actually trading at $4,000 a share. And they were being shorted at $200 a share. And it went to $4,000, split 5 for 1, and it's at $800 now. So the shorters really got taken to the cleaners under Tesla as well. Unbelievable. Like I said, Tesla has raised billions because of the short sellers, nonsense. When your throat is rested, the time is better. Can you discuss gold and silver, as I'm a stacker going to sell some of my GameStop to stack some? I'm not a metals guy. It's not my bag. I'm really not a metals guy. I've never cared for metals trading, and it's not a personal turn on for me. I love watching the markets. I love watching the people, the people that are involved in the companies, the personalities, like the Elon Musks and the Steve Jobs and the Tim Cooks and all of these incredible people that run all these various incredible companies. Love that. I love watching, when hedge fund managers or some of these, famous people come on the screen. I love watching, Jamie Dimon talk. I love to hear what he has to say. I love to hear what analysts say, but I'm not into metals per se. There's so much misinformation or straight up nonsense peddled online about GameStop and the market in general. Thanks so much for your awesome explanation. And Nations, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Connor, Bruce, this is my official application to become your moderator. I would love nothing more than to ban the spammers and misinformation. We're looking into this from this angle over here. We are looking into the moderator thing. And thank you for that. Let me keep these comments under advisement. We'll see what will happen. But I'm doing my best right now to kind of monitor it. I know there are people here who are just scamming away, and I from time to time I will just stop talking and I'll take a minute or two just to eliminate a bunch of them, and we'll see what happens. But they get replaced pretty quickly. Don't be fooled, by the way. If you're looking at any of my videos or this show after I stop talking, and you see comments coming in the comments section, and you'll see some person talk about, oh, Mr. So-and-so is such a great trader. I've made so much money with Mr. So-and-so's system. That's a bot looking to suck people into some kind of a trading club of some kind. I find those. I not only eliminate the poster from my channel, I eliminate everyone that posts under that as a reply, because there are about 30 to 40 messages that come in there within an hour, and it's all the same bot under different names, the same robot, and it all looks legit. There's 40 people reacting to how great this thing is, and I just delete them from the channel forever. I just delete them out so they can't comment ever again. I can't stop them from watching, they can watch, but I delete them from being able to comment. So I do review my comments when I have the time to do so, and I try to clean house that way. So if any of you see that kind of nonsense, don't comment on it. Don't be involved in it. Make your own comment to me. Yes, of course. I love getting your comments. YouTube loves it when people comment to me after hours. Yes, that's showing momentum for this channel. I thank you all very much for that. But the bot stuff, I get rid of the bot stuff because it's not good for my channel or not good for anybody else. Okay, thank you. Let's see. In your opinion, how likely is Melvin lied about their short positions? I don't know. They could have. They might not have. I know they were short. They were long puts. They had puts, the $15 puts that I think are still valid. They're still going until April. And they're out of the money. I mean, they're $310 out of the money at the close of the market. But will they be out of the money? They could, if the shares drop to $10 a share, the puts are in the money. But are these shares going to $10 a share between now and April? I don't think so. And if the company does what I'm hoping they're going to do, which is a series of issuances of shares to raise cash here, that stock will never see 15 again. Those contracts will die worthless. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, all those you are making PayPal donations. They're starting to come in. If you're making a PayPal donation of 10 US or more, I will definitely send you one of these postcards from Creston, GameStop autographed card by yours truly. So thank you. Any of you want to do that? Make it a $10 US or more donation, and I've got a card coming your way. Just send me your address, name and address, and we will mail them out to you. And I don't sell your mailing information to anybody. I don't do that kind of stuff. So thank you, all of you who are taking me up on my offer. We will get to it. We will. There are a number of you who are doing it, so give us time to handle it, because Jennifer's going to have to handwrite the addresses on these cards, and we will be doing it. No ifs, ands, or buts. You will definitely get that. I just wanted to double check here. Just bear with me for a minute, kids. Just want to make sure I'm up to speed on my donations. There we are. Okay, so here we go. Nina Rinker, thank you for your donation. Love your show. Thank you, Bruce. Would love a postcard. Best wishes. Send me your address, Nina. Hopefully it's part of this message. I'm going to need the address. I will look for that. Also, thank you, Yetunde Afolabi. Is that anywhere close? I have no idea. We love you, Bruce. Address for the postcard, Fairfax, California. Coming. You'll get one for sure. Also, Andrew Edwards. Hi, Bruce. Thank you for the stock advice. Donating to one of those cards. Do I link my address in the message? If so, here it is. Got your in West Brookfield. You getting it, buddy? It's coming your way. Thank you for that donation. You will definitely get a postcard. Okay. Thank you. Who else here? Oh, here we go. Edward Sansom. Thank you, Edward. Please, Creston, please, Bruce. Thanks for all the info by sharing, getting work done, moment paid in Grace British pounds. Thank you, Ed, so much. I'll look for your address. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Thank you. Also, thank you to Taliesin Carter in Toledo, Ohio. You got it. Card coming. Card is coming. Thank you. Also, Alan Vega, thank you. We'll get you a card. This will work for conversion purposes. It's more than 10 US. Thank you. Multi Perus. Thank you. Hey, Bruce, thanks for keeping us informed about GameStop. I really enjoy watching your videos. You are very sympathetic, and I'm not sure how do I read that. I think that's a good thing. I would love to get a postcard. Kiel, Germany, Deutschland, aus Deutschland, willkommen. It's coming. Definitely coming. Genau, it's coming. Thank you for Redbubble purchase. Also, guys, Kyler, yep, I heard about your postcard deal. Thanks for helping me and thousands learn about the current market and making GameStop more understood. Thanks a lot, Uncle Bruce. My address, and here it is. I will send it. I don't know what country that is, but I hope it works. It's coming. Let's see. Spencer True, thank you. Just subscribed on YouTube and love the work you're doing. Such a wealth of information. Thank you. I'd love a postcard to Eugene, Oregon, coming, buddy. Coming to Eugene for you. Fantastic. Thank you, all of you, for doing this. Sidekick LLC, send a donation for Laguna Niguel. You got it. Coming. Postcard is coming to you. Any donation, $10 or more, guaranteed you will get a postcard from us. We will be happy to do that. Jennifer and I will start tonight. We'll start tonight with making addresses, getting these addresses for you guys. I will announce this. I will announce this tomorrow, probably every hour. But I'm hopeful, but I'm worried that we'll run out, because we only had 250 of these when we originally ordered them back in September, October maybe, and we sent a bunch out to our TWB followers because I had a glitch with YouTube with ad revenues for a couple of months. It was just a terrible glitch, cost us $1,000. So I brought these out, and I was thanking my YouTubers there for making donations to help us get through September, October, November. And we used a bunch of them, but we still have some left. I wanted to get these going. So better in your hands from a GameStop autograph from Stock Markets with Bruce. Thank you, all of you, for doing this and tolerating me today on this off day to do this. So tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this very much with how hectic it should be. Hopefully silly hectic, because the shares are going to the moon tomorrow. Thank you, Sam Harris. I've got your donation, Bruce. I'm so grateful to be able to learn from a person with such experience as you. It brings me confidence as a novice to know that there are someone out there who is on my side. We like the stock. We like the Bruce. If you want, send me a postcard. Pittsburgh, PA. You got it. My wife, Jennifer, is a huge Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and she will delight at writing your address on a postcard. Believe me, no problem. Thank you for that. What else have we got here? Any donation of $10 or more, you're getting a card. Jimmy Wilkes, thank you. Love the Game Stonk postcard to add to my TWB one. Augusta Drive in Houston. You got it. It's coming, man. Thank you for these, everyone. Thank you for these donations. You guys are outstanding. Do it on PayPal and put your address in there, and then we can take care of it. Alrighty. Fantastic. I wanted to take a look right now how many subscribers we have. So we'll take a peek here. Sorry about that. I'm choking on my own excitement. Let's see here. Subscribers for Stock Markets with Bruce, 30,592. We've broken 30,000 today on a Sunday. Absolutely incredible. I don't know where this is going. I don't know how much more will come. I don't know tomorrow what kind of volume we're going to have for following my coverage of this GameStop. But boy, this is so exciting, and it's just so unbelievable to see this. The views of this show have been huge already. 13,000 just in the last hour. Over 24,800 of you have been here already watching me live just do this. So thank you, all of you, so much. If you get a chance, I did a video yesterday of what was going on GameStop. And in the first minute and a half, I have a bunch of footage of Creston here to let you know what it's like here, because I know a lot of you have just found me in the last few weeks, few days. And if you haven't followed me for the last year or two on the other channel, you don't know what it's like here. I'm a small town of 5,000 people. So check out the video. The first minute or so, there's some neat photos and video of this region that I live in. It's gorgeous. And I welcome you. If you can throw that video a thumbs up, you can throw a video, this show. If you can give me a thumbs up for this live show, I'd really appreciate it. It would really help us with the analytics, okay? Thank you guys so much. Absolutely exciting. I'm telling you, I'm stoked. I don't know how many thumbs ups we have for this show because my phone here won't tell me that information. But if anybody knows how many thumbs ups we have right now for this telecast, which would let me know, just throw that up right there on the thing, and I'll try to look out for that. I'd love to know how many folks have joined us. Absolutely wonderful. Jonathan, just got your message. Thank you, Jonathan. You will definitely get a postcard from Buckinghamshire in the UK. It's on its way for you. If any of you have sent me 1,500 likes, thank you, everybody. If any of you have sent a $10 US donation to us in the past through PayPal, let me know, and through an email, because the email address is down below in the description of this show. and we'll add you to the list. Okay, so we'll try to get everybody that we can a postcard. That certainly has helped out. I appreciate this, guys. All of you, just stunning what's been happening. Unbelievable. Thank you for this comment. Ahmad, thank you for your donation on PayPal. Hi, Bruce. Thank you for what you're doing. I love the stream. Quick question. Why would GameStop, the company, entertain any deal with shorties? Last I checked, the shorts remained at 120%. And if so, at what price do all the apes and diamonds hands are not scapegoated? P.S. We like to stonk all the way to the moon. Well, as I say, if the company only issued 10 million shares, at 300, that's $3 billion. If they issued 10 million at $400 a share, that's $4 billion. GameStop with $4 billion cash in the bank and still a huge short position. The upside is still crazy. And with $4 billion in cash on hand and the ability to raise billions more at a moment's notice, if they take on someone else, they can afford to buy something else with cash. This takes this company to another plateau that it has never been at ever. The stock could be much, much higher. So, folks, you want the company to raise money. You really do. You want these guys to raise cash. Not at 50 a share. They're not going to do that. Not at 100 a share. They're not going to do that. These folks are like you and me. They want it to go much higher. I wanted to go higher because you guys get richer, and that means I get more donations. So I am interested in this stock to go a lot higher. Sure, of course. I don't have any shares. But the company insiders, they are seeing something that will transform everything, including their lives. I mean, remember, some of these guys who bought stock in the company bought stock when it was, $10 a share. They were, they bought $20 a share, $5 a share. At 300, they're all now multimillionaires. They could become multi-billionaires, not just a billionaire, but a multi-billionaire if they play their cards right. And this sets up themselves, their families, their children, their grandchildren. I mean, they are motivated to cash in. Believe me, these are entrepreneurs. A company with 5,000 plus retail locations is not doing it for charity. They're there for the money. So yes, they will want to score the best deal possible for their shareholders, which they are as well. So yes, look for upside here. Thank you, SRSLY Serena. I'm going to say Serena. Thank you. As a young 23-year-old woman getting into the stock and with very little educated family members, you have been such a blessing. I've learned so much. I have the adoption papers ready. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. I love you. Panama City, Florida. Postcard coming to you. Absolutely. Thank you. That's wonderful. Also, thank you to Lucas Kish. Would love a postcard from Uncle Bruce. Thank you for your commentary. More money coming for your way if this thing takes us to the moon. Much love from Tallahassee, Florida. On the way. Postcard will be coming to you as well. Thank you, all of you, for these fabulous gestures on your part and donations, small and large. And we had a donation earlier today. The single largest donation I have ever received as a YouTuber came in today. And I won't say the amount. It was a PayPal donation, so it was private. But let's just say those kinds of donations are they make a heck of a difference. For sure. They make one heck of a difference. And I thank you very, very much for that. All of you making PayPal donations, they are, in effect, they're private amounts, but I'm happy to tell the world who you are, but keep your identity. Otherwise, and that's a secret, of course. Thank you, all of you, for that. This is just absolutely wonderful. Alrighty, there you have it. It's been 2 hours and 2 minutes. I think I should shut this down and get some rest now for tomorrow, and keep an eye on what's happening. I'll keep an eye for any results, any announcements, if they happen right after midnight or not. I don't know. I know my emails will go nuts if there's announcements, because there's people sending me info on anything they are hearing. Jeffrey, since you can't buy GameStop on Robinhood, you can buy a call at a strike of $1, but premium is $332, break even $333. This would be a workaround. No, you can't get an option. You can't get an option with that kind of a premium in the money like that. There's no way. A $333 contract, for example, an option that expires at $330, you want to buy it for like 2 weeks, it'll probably run you $200. You're paying $500+ for that stock. So no, options are not that cheap. They're not that easy to get. They're a fortune, and I would not recommend it. I really Do not recommend any of you out there try to get an option. It's not a good idea. But you know, what can I say? Everyone has to do what they have to do, what they can live with. Since you can't buy it, like it says, I don't recommend going that direction. Alex, thank you. Could GameStop potential short squeeze be like 2008 Volkswagen? Yeah, it could be. Very much so. People have been doing this comparison. It could be higher. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying there's possibilities of any way it can go. Yeah, AB. Yeah, think there'll be regulations on shorts after this, or you think Wall Street is a big picture happier, having millions more potential retail investors? Oh, they're happy about that. Believe me, there's not much talk of that, but they are delighted that there's this much more activity in the market. But there might be restrictions on short selling coming up for hedge funds. We'll see. Nebbia, have you seen the stats on fail to deliver? A bunch of naked shorts around. I don't have those handy, and I don't know if I can get that kind of information. I think it is available through the clearing deposit, the clearing thing. I'm sure we'll read about these numbers in the near future. I think these will be published shortly. If any of you know about them or whatever, let us know, of course. Thank you. The fail to deliver stats, something we'll have to keep an eye out for. All right. Guys, I'm going to pack this in. I don't want to say goodbye, but I've got to say goodbye. PayPal donations can be made 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you want to make a donation of $10 US or more, get your hands on a GameStop autograph card from my TWB postcard. I would be more than happy to send you one. Make a donation through PayPal of $10 US or more, and you're definitely getting one of those. 24/7 you can do that if you are so inclined, and I see them coming through here on my phone. These alerts are coming through. Thank you, everybody. Thank you today for all of you making donations on this Sunday show. Appreciate it. And join me tomorrow. We're going to have fun tomorrow. I might be on 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Eastern. I'm not sure yet. Probably not 6 Eastern. 7 Eastern or thereafter. But make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification icon, and you'll get an alert when I'm going on tomorrow. I will try to set up the show about a half an hour before I start it, so there'll be like a 30-minute countdown, a 20-minute countdown, whatever it is, to give you folks a heads up that, okay, Bruce is on in 15 minutes or 18 minutes or whatever the heck it is. Join me if you like, and we'll follow this GameStop story tomorrow, Monday, February the 1st, 2021, GameStop on the exchanges. Man, oh man, I cannot believe what's been happening. I am very much looking forward to the opening of trading tomorrow. I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll watch the pre-market. I'll be watching that. I'm sure you will too. And I will comment on the pre-market because I'll be on the air during the pre-market for some of that, and then right into the opening, and away we go. And if the company wants to make an announcement in the pre-market or at the bell, do they want to halt the stock at the bell and make a major announcement, then go from there. I will be here following it with you and try to interpret what's being said in plain English so that all of us know what the heck is really going on. Okay, there you have it, guys. Thank you very much of you for you being here. We will see you tomorrow in the pre-market before we start the day. And these comments are, like I said, thank you so much for commenting. Thumbs ups, thank you. Donations today, PayPal donations for the postcard, the GameStop postcard. Thank you. We'll see you in the morning. Get a good night's sleep if you can. I'll do the best I can. I have a suspicion I'll be doing a series of naps, and we'll be ready and see how long the voice holds out for, and we'll have some fun. We'll have fun watching this. Let's see what's going on. All right, guys. Take care. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Make sure to wear those masks. Social distance with everybody. And stay healthy for me and for your family. And we will stay on top of this tomorrow. Okay, bye, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you in not too many hours from now. All right, bye.